this is going to be a SWOT analysis of Deloitte, which is a financial services company. The first part of a SWOT analysis is the strengths. And there are 4 major strengths that Deloitte has. One is their community outreach. Another one is diversity of services, global presence, and consistency of quality. Their community outreach is very important to them. They have this thing called Impact Day, where everywhere around the world, Deloitte employees get a day off work to volunteer. They are also the sole sponsor of the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic teams in the financial world, and they also sponsor the Women's National Basketball Association and the Women's National Soccer Association. For diversity of services, they are one of the leaders in diversity in terms of financial advisory, audit and assurance, consulting, and risk and tax services, which most other financial companies will only specialize in accounting and auditing. They offer a whole lot more in that area. As a global presence, Deloitte has over 150 different countries that they operate in, including the US, Egypt, Latvia, Thailand, Vietnam, and Australia. When it comes to their consistency of quality, they are very good at keeping a consistent quality. They commit to quality and consistency by holding themselves accountable. They do audit quality monitoring 4 times a year. They also continually collect demographic changes and change their market and tailoring it to each portion of their tax brackets and their community.
Next, we have some weaknesses. One weakness is competition. Deloitte has there's four main competitors for Deloitte. And out of the 4, PCW, KPMG, FGI Consulting, and Accenture, Deloitte is leading them in the competition in the graph. Next, we have low investment in research and development. Research and development is not something Deloitte puts much effort into. Last financial statement, they only mentioned research and development once with no strong investments. And next is integration issues. Many people have given Deloitte employers reviews. Most of the reviews say Deloitte lacks a sense of belonging in employees, but it's a great place to build a career. You can get past those issues. Also, Deloitte has poor assets and liability ratio. The balance sheet shows that liabilities are 3% higher than assets. Comparing this to some competitors, PCW has a liability of 24% less than Deloitte.
Some opportunities Deloitte has to grow are new environmental policies, which they are currently working a whole lot better on this since COVID-19. They have discovered their environmental impact a little bit more to save money and time, which allows for more money to be allocated to other locations of Deloitte. But they are not the leading in environmental policies, so that's somewhere that they can grow. They're also not very big on small firm acquisition, which small firms actually have a lot of potential, because in small firms you can reach small businesses and you can release information to the public in ways that you can't with the larger companies, and that's a way that they could grow their market. Another thing that they can do is offering new services. Right now, they do have a lot of financial and accounting sector services, but they could also offer other services like cost management, fiduciary accountings, and stuff like that, and that would give them a broader revenue base. They also could offer mid-market business, where they give business to the middle class of businesses, people that are within the $1 million to $5 million range, and the $5 million to $1 billion range of financials. A lot of their clients are very, very large companies, like HGs, things like that. So if they could offer a middle market business, they could expand how much money that they're making in their revenue and profit.
For threats, one is fluctuation in their economy. Deloitte has a global stance. A large amount of issues arise from different inflation rates. In China, one of Deloitte's larger markets, the inflation rate is currently rising, and now it's up to 10.7%. And in America, inflation rates is only at 5.3%. Also, a rising in raw material cost. Operating costs have increased for Deloitte in 2018 and 2020 by about $16.3 million. These two sheets are kind of like raw material cost statements, like kind of showing the difference in between the years. Also, there's been a shortage of skilled workforce. Within a 4-year gap, 2014 through 2018, there's been little to zero growth in the amount of students graduating, and there's been about 5,502 persons hiring jobs since 2014. Lastly, startup companies. There are currently 10 startup companies in the U.S. alone that continue to grow. Each of these startups have 1.9 to 5-star ratings and vary escalation. The top agency of these startups had a revenue of 1.63 million within the past year.